All right. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. JP Costa here. I'm very, very excited about this evening. Today, obviously, being the 15th of the month. I mean, there's nothing better than to get started off with an amazing talk about the Manatech products and what it can do for people. And this evening is going to be quite a nice evening because we've got quite a few people that have been in the health and wellness industry or worked as healthcare practitioners for quite some time. So very, very excited to hear what they're going to share about their products, maybe a little bit about their story, how they got involved in health and wellness, why they're excited about this product. So each of them are going to share for about, 2 to 5 minutes or so. And then what we're going to do is we'll have Dr. Kriki Stratum will do a little sort of short talk for about 10 minutes or so, a little bit about her experience with the products. First of all, well done for being on the call this evening. If you are looking for the webinar code, I will share that afterwards. But what we're going to do is I'm going to ask Gerald maybe to start off first. Gerald Miller is a physio. And actually the privilege of having him here earlier at our house today for some treatment. So Gerald, maybe so you can share with us for maybe just 2 to 5 minutes. How come you're excited about this? How did you get on board? So I'm going to give it over to Gerald.
Hi JB, how's it everybody? Real privileged to be able to be on this call with all of you and also all the other health professionals out there. So the way I got involved is I've obviously known JP for a very long time, and I was very aware of the opportunity that he was given when he was still a student, and I've seen him wouldn't say persevere in this business, but he got quite a lot of criticism for doing this kind of work. And I must say, I wish, reflecting back, I wish I had taken the opportunity 10 years earlier to be involved in this business, because I've been doing it for just over a year now, and it really has been the most fantastic experience. Not only has it helped me develop as a business owner, as a health professional, but I've personally gone through a difficult period in my life, and I needed lots of help from pharmaceutical drugs and from supplementation, and the Manatech products really made such a powerful impact in my life. When Dr. Stratum shared her testimony previously on one of the other webinars, I could completely identify. So once I'd actually experienced the products for myself, it's just been so easy to share this wonderful gift. I see the company and the product line as a gift, and it's so easy for me to share this with my patients, with my clients. It's when you've experienced the change that it brings about in your own body, and when you're part of a business like this that actually educates you and gives you the support, the continued support throughout. It's just been a wonderful experience. So I'm very, very grateful. I think one of the things I'm the most grateful for is that, while I've been able to have my practice and see my clients as my main source of income, the system that the company uses means that I don't have to carry stock. I'm not paying out money that I didn't have, or I don't have to borrow. It was easy to start. And my clients, my patients, my friends who've supported me in the business have enjoyed the product so much that they've just remained on it. And it's been such a blessing during this time of COVID that I've been able to have this sideline business to supplement my income, because during the initial stages of lockdown, level 5, because I'm not really based in a hospital, even though I'm a first-line practitioner, I wasn't able to work, and it really helped us. So yeah, I'm very, very grateful. So thanks for this brief opportunity to share that with you. I'm going to leave some of the other product knowledge and testimonies to some of my other colleagues out there. But that's a little bit about my story and why it's been such a pleasure being part of Manatech. Thanks, JP.
Okay, awesome, Gerald. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. Next up, we're going to have Gabby just sharing a little bit about, obviously, tonight's obviously a lot more about products. So I just want Gabby just to share a little bit about her experience on the product, maybe a little bit of how you got involved in health and wellness, yeah, and why you're excited about this. So over to you, Gabby.
Hi, JP. Good evening, everyone. JP, thank you very much for this opportunity. Opportunity for all of us to share from a health perspective. I got involved with Manatech about a year ago, or just over a year ago, when I met JP. I'm a kinesiologist, an acupuncturist, reflexologist, and other few bits and bobs that pertain to natural health care. You know, when people talk about natural health, there's often almost like a misperception out there that you either go medical or you go natural. And I realize that I'm in medical company this evening, so I'm certainly not against medical. I believe very strongly that there is a place for it. But I also do believe that, you know, when it comes to medicine, it's more symptomatic than anything. From a kinesiology perspective, what we do is we work with the body's innate wisdom, which is basically to heal itself. And I've been doing that for a while now. And really, in order for a person to be in very good health or optimal health, there are a number of kind of elements that need to be addressed, from emotional to chemical to electrical, structural, from a diet perspective. But what I have really learned and really seen ring very true in my time with Manatech is that medicine is your food and food is your medicine. That has rung very, very true for me. And if you are not feeding your body ultimately what it needs, everything else will fall short. So on that level, I have had the best time working with Manatech in my practice. I've seen some phenomenal results with my clients, friends, and family. I haven't had, you know, one customer turn around and say the product's not working for me. I've had a few times where they don't realize it's worked for them until they've stopped, and then they've kind of seen what the difference is. But what I really have enjoyed so much about working with Manatech is that, and I say this every single talk, is that I can work with it with absolute integrity. When you have a customer or a client come to you, you know, it's not that when you work with someone's health, it really isn't the place to upsell a person or you know, try and make a commission or try and make a quick buck when you're working with someone's health. So for me, it's so important to be able to say to someone, if this product doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. This product's backed by science. It's pretty much all natural. Your body recognizes it at a very cellular basic level, which with our chemical medicines and supplements, it doesn't do. It eliminates all of that. So from that perspective, it's been extremely rewarding, and being able to work with integrity with my clients has been great. And then as Gerald said as well, you know, being in natural health, I don't work from a hospital, I work from home, from my own practice. And so the first few months of lockdown were hard. I couldn't work. I had no customers coming to me, or no clients rather coming, they couldn't. And quite rightly so. But with that, naturally, my income came to a complete halt. But my clients carried on taking their supplementation. They over this period, they have recognized their need to optimize their health and to, you know, to take it seriously. And what's been fantastic is seeing in Manatech that the last few months have been the best months in terms of sales for them. So, you know, for me, it's something I will work with for as long as I possibly can. I'll never stop working with Manatech. It's been hugely rewarding. I'm going to be immigrating towards the end of the year, and what's really fantastic is that the business that I built here will carry on growing and working, and I'm very, very excited to be growing my business in Europe when I immigrate at the end of the year. So that's my story. JP, thank you so much.
Awesome, Gabby. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, we're all going to miss you when you are living in the Netherlands. What a great country to visit. And obviously in the Netherlands, or in Europe at least, a lot of people are very open to health and wellness and everything. So so next up, I've got Sunette, who's a pharmacist. Very excited to hear her share a little bit about her experience on the products. So Sunette, if you could maybe make your video live and just share with us a little bit about you, from where you studied, how you decided to become a pharmacist, how you came across the Manatech products, why are you excited about it. So over to you.
Hi, JP. Thanks so much. Firstly, I want to thank my upline, Irene and Marguerite. Thanks so much for all the love and support. And thanks to you also for the opportunity to share tonight. Yes, like JP said, my name is Sunette. I'm a pharmacist here from Pretoria. This is my husband, Stefan. We're doing the business together. He's not a healthcare practitioner, but he's an accountant, and also left his job and started his own company now during lockdown. And also it wouldn't have been possible without Manatech in our lives. So yeah, our journey started about 5 years ago. In the pharmacy, we didn't get in, we got enrolled, but not as business builders. We were selling the products in the pharmacy. And yeah, my first reaction, I was actually rolling my eyes. I thought, this is another natural product that I have to sell. And in Afrikaans, you say, jy moet iets aan iemand afsmeer. En dis regtig wat ek gedink het. It's really what I thought. And but Marguerite asked us to sell this product, and I would do anything for her. So we started selling the products in the pharmacy, and it went really very good. But initially, I also thought, geez, these products are so expensive, no one is going to buy it. That's my first reaction too. But it went really very well. The products are selling so good, and because we used it in our, for ourselves, our own families, and we saw the difference in ourselves and also in the patients. And the funny thing is, the patients couldn't remember the name of the product. So they just came in and said, Sunette, that's white 2 tablets that you sold me about a week ago. I want some more of that. So yeah, we sold a lot of that in the pharmacy. After a while, Marguerite said, we can make money ourselves from selling these products. And everyone needs to make some extra money. So we started, then it was about 2 years ago, we started actively doing the business. Yeah, so there's so many reasons why I do this business and why we use these products. It's not for the money anymore. There's, the difference you see in people's lives, and the things I've learned from this company. Financial education has made a big difference in our lives, and the personal development is also something that money cannot buy, and that is really priceless. So my favorite Manatech product, I actually love all of them. We use all of them. But if I had to choose one, it would be the Firm. It's one of our skincare products. I used to have a skin condition in my face. It's a very, most people have it all over their bodies. It's not a rare condition. But you go to the doctors and they prescribe all cortisones, and the cortisones work, but only for 2 weeks, and then it just comes back again. And then you go to the doctor for another cortisone, and then it continues like that. And I don't know why I didn't think of it initially, but after a while I thought, no, I'm going to leave everything, I'm going to leave all the chemical stuff and just use the Manatech cleanser and the Firm. And within 2 weeks, the condition completely disappeared, and it has never come back. So I would never go without my Firm, not even without a day. Sometimes I forget to drink the vitamins. Yes, we pharmacists, we preach to everyone every day how to take their medicine, but we also forget to take our vitamins, but never a day I will go without my Firm. So yes, thanks you so much. Have a great evening, everyone.
Awesome, baie dankie Sinet en Stefan. Stefan, volgende keer kan jy ook 'n bietjie deel. But thank you very much for sharing. Really appreciate it. So yeah, next up we've got Nicolette, who is a medical doctor. She's recently qualified, so quite excited to hear what she has to share. She's obviously grown up with, as her mom being a medical doctor, so she's obviously knows all the ins and outs. And I think I met Nicolette the first time when she was just starting in her first year studying to become a doctor. So I know she's based in KZN now doing her practical year. So Nicolette, hopefully if you can make your, if you can put your video on, and then hopefully we can be all over to your side. So, okay, awesome.
Awesome. Thanks so much, JP, for your introduction, and wow, for putting this call together. I think it's so exciting and it's really amazing to be a part of this. I'd firstly just want to say a huge thank you to my mom, for getting me introduced to these products and for really changing my life in terms of that. And then also to Irene Duprier, who's been a really great mentor for me through this process. So my name's Nicolette. I qualified last year actually at the University of Pretoria as a medical doctor. And now I'm working in KZN for the last 9 months, which has been quite daunting, moving provinces, but very, very exciting. But unfortunately, through my studies and through being exposed to hospitals and medicine in general, it's been quite disillusioning as a new medical doctor, because I think a lot of the things we see, we realize that a lot of the treatments we're giving or the things we're doing aren't really treating the problem that the person has. And I sort of agree with Gabby. What she said is that medicine is so symptomatic, and that's so true. We look at the symptom of the person and we give them something for that, but we never really look at what is the true cause of why did this person get sick in the first place, and we don't really look at what type of nutrition they could use to actually improve on that. And that's really something I learned through my mom's journey, with her health journey, where she got sick and realized that medicine wasn't helping. I actually, at the time when we started with the products, I thought, well, I'm not really sick. I don't feel sick. I'm young. I feel healthy. I don't know that I have any problems. But what's amazing about these products, I don't know what it is, but the minute you start with them, you just realize how sick you were and how little energy I had. I mean, I can't believe the way I can go all day now without ever feeling tired. And I mean, we work very, very long hours at the hospital. And I can just go hours without even worrying about food or anything. I mean, I'm full of energy. And I think that that's been truly, truly amazing for me. But really, my journey with the product started when I was struggling in first year. So JP, at that time when you met me, I was really, really struggling with my studies. And wow, what a difference the Ambitose made for me in my life. I must say, the Ambitose is really my favorite product, and I will always stick by that. From the minute I started using it, I have experienced such improvement to my concentration and my memory. I was able to study so much easier. I wasn't failing my subjects anymore, and I actually ended up breezing through my degree so much easier using the products. And like, I saw people struggling around me, my fellow students, and I would always just look at this and say, but you need Ambitose, because the Ambitose is really the thing that got me through my studies so easily, and the thing that's getting me through my practical year now. I mean, we work like 80 hours of overtime a month. It's really busy. But yeah, these products have been absolutely amazing. And I think the real thing for me that attracted me to this and that made me realize that this is really, really something special is the fact that Manatech is backed by science. They don't just say something is the way it is, they actually go out and prove it. And I think that the scientific studies are really, really beneficial, especially if you're dealing with someone who is scientific, to show them that study is just amazing. And it's really, really a benefit if, like Gabby says, we can really tell people about this with so much integrity, because we know that the products work, we know that they do what they say they do, and plus it's backed by the science. And the other thing is the fact that it's NSF certified, which means that the NSF Foundation, the National Science Foundation, has actually gone and shown that what's on the box of the products is actually in the products. And I think that's really, really important as well, because a lot of the things that we find in the shops are not necessarily exactly true to what they say is on the box. And I think that that's a really, really beneficial thing. And the difference that we've seen in this, with this product in our lives, our family's life, and the people around us, so many stories from my mom about her patients that have improved. And it's just been absolutely an incredible journey. We will definitely never ever stop recommending these products or using them ourselves. I can't go a minute without my Manatech. And we're just really, really excited to share this journey with so many people, and to really help them with their health journey, because I feel that we have so much more that we can offer people through using this product. And we can all learn how to help people with their health and wellness. You really don't have to be any kind of medical practitioner at all. I mean, you can just be a normal person, and you can go out and help people with their health. I mean, how awesome is that? So yeah, I mean, to end off, I just think we're really excited, and whoever invited you to this call, get back to them, find out how you can start using the products. And, if you have it in your heart to recommend them to others, I really, really suggest that you do, because it's so, so beneficial for so many people. So thank you so much, JP, for letting me share. I really appreciate it, and have a good evening, everyone.
Awesome, Nicolette. Thank you very much. Wow, that was really, really awesome. Thank you very much. And it's amazing to see how much you've grown from 5-6 years ago. I got a lot of good feedback here from everyone that just said, wow, it's amazing how you've grown, and then what a great speaker you've become. And yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this evening. Really, really appreciate it. So next up, I'm very excited to hear Francie, who's also doing very, very well, helping a lot of people. So I'm very excited to hear her share. She's also a pharmacist. So Francie, is jy daar by ons?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so all over to you. So the floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share on this platform. I'm a pharmacist here in Uppington, and I've studied in Potchefstroom, so my experience with English is not a lot. But I want to thank Diana and Neil, my presidential uplines, and Hilda Marie, my mentor. And I would like to tell you why Manatech for me. Being a pharmacist for almost 20 years now, you are skeptical about all supplements, since there are so many different companies that want you to believe that their product is the best and fancier than the rest. But then, being a mom, you only want the best for your child. So when my second-born child was on antibiotics almost every second week, and he was diagnosed with a very low immune system, and the doctor suggested I must give him a low dose of antibiotics for life. That just wasn't it for me, because knowing the side effects of antibiotics, I was not happy that there was nothing more that I can do for my boy. So I looked into many different products. I'm also a SKU practitioner, and working with the Allen machines, and I really did my homework, because it's not for anybody. It was for my second-born child, Joshua, and I really just wanted the best for him. And Manatech ticked all the boxes. It was food-based, but still scientifically tested. And if I must say, my favorite product is GI Pro Balance, because about 70% of your immune health is in a healthy gut. So needless to say, it sorted out his gut, and it was so easy to give it to him, because it was no battle. It tasted fantastic, not like all the other products I had to give him for getting his gut to go. So it was really a pleasure to give him GI Pro Balance. He actually asked for it every day. And then my boy started Manatech in 2018, and for the last 2 years since he's been on Manatech, he never once, not once, needed antibiotics. So the blood test also showed that his immune health improved tremendously. And I don't think I need to say any more. That will make me a passionate promoter of Manatech for the rest of my life. Thank you, JP, for this opportunity.
Awesome. Francie, thank you very, very much for sharing. Really appreciate that. Let me just quickly pin my video here. Yeah, it's always great to, to hear people that are in the medical field sharing a little bit about, their story and how they've obviously come across this product. And I think for a lot of people out there, I think a lot of us realize that the first time we, first hear about Manatech, you might be a bit skeptical. It's almost like it sounds too good to be true. But I can tell you one thing: over the last 12 years, I've seen so many amazing things happen with people that take the product, and I'm just grateful to to still be able to go out there and go and share this with more people. And I think it's just a testament this evening. I mean, we've got almost 370, 380 people on this call, and probably on the other, we've actually streaming it through another Facebook group with another 280 or 300 on there. It's amazing to think that all of us could be sitting in our living room, or me in my office at least, and I mean, we can be talking to 680 people, from the comfort of our home, and I mean, how things have changed. So, so next up, I'm going to ask Marguerite to share. Marguerite is also a pharmacist. So excited to hear her share a little bit about her story, and I know she's got quite an amazing story, because I know she actually bought the product and then didn't use it for a very, very long time, and then started using it, and she saw some remarkable things happen. So I'm going to ask Marguerite to share quickly. So Marguerite, all over to you.
Thank you, JP. It is such a privilege to be on this call tonight. Thank you to Irene Dupree, especially, my bronze presidential, Neil and Eliana Wilkin, silver presidentials, and you, JP, of course, our platinum presidential, and Louis and Leonie van der Linde, our 2-star platinums. Yes, as you know, by now I'm a pharmacist. I'm actually a retired pharmacist, and I still do locums, and I stay in a small little town, Prince Albert. I was introduced to Manatech in 2014, but I soon lost interest. And after my husband passed away, I had a few products left that was given to me by a friend. I wasn't buying them, so I thought, well, I'm not going to take them. These little white capsules won't do anything to me. So I started dishing them out to my friends. And after I saw what they were doing, I thought to myself, I better get involved. And in the beginning, it was all about ambrotos and cell-to-cell communication. Well, as I developed, I could, have some of the other products, like Bounce Back is a very, very favorite one of mine. And the business side was very much later. I actually saw the biggest miracle of my life with a combination of ambrotos and Bounce Back. It was a veteran lady. She had so much pain in her joints and in her body. And we made a prayer, got together, prayed about it, and then I started giving her ambrotos and Bounce Back. 3 days later, she got up, and she is well today. She's back on her daytime job, and she is doing so amazingly. Another one, friend of mine, he has to go for cortisone injections in his shoulder every 3 months, and it has become so much less effective. So on to Bounce Back and ambrotos. So I phoned him about a week later. I said to him, how are you doing? And he says, oh yes, I played golf yesterday, and come to think of it, I had no pain. So needless to say. And then another one, a man who had to go for a hip replacement, but he's only in his 50s, and he realized that he will have to have another replacement in his lifetime. So I heard about him, and because of financial problems, he only took the Bounce Back. 2 weeks later, he was playing tennis. He has no pain at the moment. The hip replacement is a little bit on the horizon, and hopefully it'll stay away for a long time. So that's another wonderful testimony. And then another lady that I gave Bounce Back and ambrotos to, she had a certain element in her blood, too much of, and the doctor said they cannot do anything for her. So I said, okay, let's give it a go. She couldn't even open up bottles anymore. Her joints were so sore, her wrist was so sore. Today, she's pain-free. She's actually not even taking the Bounce Back anymore. So I am so pleased to be able to share these wonderful testimonies with you tonight. Just a reminder for the people on the call that are new, the reason why one takes Bounce Back on an empty stomach, it's very important that it should be taken on an empty stomach, and then 45 minutes later, you can only start eating again. If you have forgotten that you should be taking it on an empty stomach and you've eaten, wait 2 hours and then take the bounce back. And then, of course, the 45-minute rule still applies. Now, I have friends at my age who put a glass of water and the 2 bounce back capsules next to their bed. And when they have to get up in the night, they take the bounce back, don't have to worry about food in the stomach, and voila, there they go. So thank you so much. I want to encourage the new people on the call to go to the manatechscience.org, investigate we have amazing products, and all of them make a difference to people's lives. And in the end, you make a difference to your own life. Thank you so much, JP.
Awesome, Marguerite. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing, and thanks for sharing some of those testimonials, those compliant testimonials. So just quickly, something about the Manatech products. All of you got to bear in mind that these products do not treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. What they do is allow the body to heal and restore itself. And basically, that is why people get these amazing results, because we should be getting what we get in these products in the modern day diet. But obviously, it has changed so drastically over the last 50 years that we now all should be supplementing. And of course, the best products you can be supplementing with is a plant-based product. And obviously, Manatech is not only a plant-based technology, but we're a science company, and we are a research and development company. So, so next up, I'm going to ask Dr. Kriki Stradum to share. She's always been a massive help, not only to me, but also to a lot of the associates. In her team, she's always been, very, very keen, always to share, because I think she's really got a massive passion to actually help people with health and wellness. And I think for me, it's always nice when you do get a medical doctor that, that also understands that it's you need to have an integrative health approach. It's not just about, treating symptoms, or it's really about making sure that you can actually look at someone holistically and make sure that you can give them the best possible technology for their health. And sometimes it may be that we have to obviously medicate, but for me, obviously, it's always the most important thing. Let's look at it from a holistic point of view and see if there's anything else you can do in a plant-based way that might make a massive difference to the patient, or to the client, or to the potential customer. So so Kriki, all over to you. I'm going to quickly just quickly pin your video, and then we're looking forward to your awesome talk about you this evening. So over to you.
Thank you so very much, JP. I always appreciate talking on these calls, and I really appreciate your input into my life as well. And I also want to thank Irene de Prier, my bronze presidential upline, who introduced me a few years ago to a little product called GI Pro Balance, which has entirely changed my life. And as JP said, I am a medical doctor. I qualified from the University of the Free State with an MBCHB, and spent quite a bit of time in private practice. And, also, like Nicolette said, felt very disillusioned with what the results that we get in medicine, and, how we just add chemicals to a patient's already laden body with chemicals. Our bodies are already laden with food chemicals because of the way that we process and plant the food and grow the food nowadays. So the results just were never there for me. People just kept coming back with the same condition over and over and over again, and symptomatically we would just keep on treating people. And it never was more apparent to me than when I became ill myself. When I was diagnosed with the first chronic illness, I thought, okay, fine, I'll go to a couple of specialists and I'll see what happens there. I got some medication. It just made me more and more ill. I was diagnosed with a second autoimmune disease, and again, got more medication and nothing was helping. I sought additional help from additional specialists. Nothing was helping. And a lot of the people that are on the call tonight that have been in Manatech for a while do know my story, but I am also aware that there's a lot of new people who don't know my story. So suffice to say, I got so ill that eventually I ended up with more than 4 autoimmune diseases, and I couldn't drive for 5 kilometers without stopping to actually find a toilet to go and pee. So one of the conditions I had was a very severe bladder condition, which is incredibly debilitating if you have to work and you've got 85 staff members reporting to you, and you can't sit in a meeting, and you can't drive for distances to go to clients because you have to keep stopping to find a bathroom. And through research, I came across nutrition as a solution, and I started researching that. And eventually that's how I got to the Manitech products, because I started realizing that the important thing about it is that it has to be real food. Nutrition is what is given to us in nature to heal our bodies, and nutrition is basically what we need to take in, not a bunch of chemicals. So I even tried chemical supplementation of vitamins and minerals for a very extended period of time, more than 15 years. And that also just made me more and more ill. The pills made me sick when I took them on an empty stomach. I really just didn't feel well on them, and my symptoms actually got worse and worse and worse. So eventually, I turned to natural supplements, and the only company that I could find that has got proper natural supplementation was in fact Manitech. And through this journey, I then Irene exposed to me to the fact that Manitech was actually a company
Okay, I think, Kriki, I think your screen is frozen. So maybe
actually
you can.
Yes.
Okay, no, I think you're back online. I think it just might have frozen, but you all good to go.
Oh my goodness, where did you last lose me?
Oh, no, only about 3 seconds ago.
Okay, thanks, Sophie. Thank you very much. Okay, so guys, if you want to research glycans, please, make sure that you research glycan technology, and you'll see that there are several thousand scientific papers published about what glycans do in the body. And when we look at optimal well-being, glycans are incredibly essential because they are the operating system of the human body, and they are what are essential for cellular communication. So your cells in your body have to communicate with one another in order to know where vitamin C must go to, where must iron go to, which cells must be helped and healed and restored, which cells must be killed because they contain viruses or bacteria, or they might be cancer cells or other abnormal tumor growths. Your body needs to know how to do these things, and the way it knows that is by cellular communication. So on the outside of every cell, your cell is covered with like a forest, like a dense covering of glycans, and those glycans act like a computer code to the other cells, and they talk to each other through that. So without glycans, your body cannot have optimal well-being, and your body needs 8 essential glycans on a daily basis to actually have proper cellular communication. And in our diet today, it's been proven that we only get 2 on a regular basis, and the other 6 are completely depleted. And it is so that our bodies can make some glycans, but it can make only 1 of the glycans at a time, and it makes it under a stress reaction. It's made in the liver, and you really stress your liver by actually giving it a message all the time to make all these different glycans that are not in your diet, and you have to keep on making them. And the more stressed the body becomes, the less it actually performs, and the less it makes the glycans properly. And that's why you get the very severe breakdown of cellular communication. And I must say that when I completed my studies in Bloemfontein in 1984, I hardly saw cancer patients at that time because there were no cancer patients. There were maybe 78-year-old men who smoked their whole lives and died of lung cancer. But we didn't get children with leukemia, and we knew about leukemia, we learned about it, but I never ever saw a child while I was studying with leukemia. I never ever saw a child in private practice with leukemia. It is now that it is so incredibly prevalent because the rates of cancer have gone up to about 40 times what they used to be when I finished studying. And if we look at autoimmune diseases, we also learned all about those autoimmune diseases, but we actually didn't know what caused them, and we actually didn't know, we never ever saw those patients. But now everybody knows somebody with rheumatoid arthritis, or somebody with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, or somebody with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, or a thyroid condition, or fibromyalgia, or chronic chronic fatigue syndrome. So everybody knows somebody with a chronic condition, with an autoimmune condition. And those autoimmune conditions exist because we have a lack of glycans, because our bodies cannot communicate. And then your body doesn't know which cells are normal, and it actually attacks its own normal cells. That's when the doctor says you have a disease where your body's attacking its own cells. Your immune system is attacking its own cells. And the crisis with this situation is that those conditions just perpetuate and they spill over into one another. That's how I got to have 4 autoimmune diseases, because if you don't address the root cause, you're never ever going to fix the problem. And it's just going to keep on popping up in different areas. I always say to people that in terms of treating a medical condition, medicine to me, although acute medicine is life-saving at times, medicine to me in a chronic way is a little bit like trying to treat damp in a house with a coat of paint. Because, or even damp proofing, you're not actually getting to the root cause of where the damp is from. You're not actually taking the damp out of the house. You just keep on damp proofing and painting, and damp proofing and painting, and you're never ever going to solve that problem. And if it is your body that you just keep on damp proofing, you can bet your bottom dollar that you are just going to get more and more ill as time goes by. So I really want to put this thing in perspective. There's nothing, I don't have any grievance against medicine, or any, I don't think that there's anything wrong with acute medication, and I think it can be life-saving. I just think that it's critical today that each person takes personal responsibility and tries to find out what is the cause of their health condition, and go back to nutrition and see where your nutrition fails you. And even when you look at the Manatech products, it doesn't mean that you can take Manatech products and you can eat and drink all the wrong things, and you can do all the wrong things, and Manatech is going to heal you or save your life. Because it is about supplementation. Manatech is a supplement. The products are supplements to your normal diet. Now, if your normal diet consists of Coca-Cola and McDonald's burgers, then it's going to be very hard for the Manatech supplements to save you from anything. Okay, so it really is up to you to also understand your responsibility in actually taking in the right type of nutrition. So one of the things I also say to my patients is that everything you eat and everything you drink, everything you do and everything you think will either heal you or harm you. Nothing in life is neutral. When you take in anything into your mouth or into your body or into your mind, you are either healing or harming yourself. And so it's very important for people to carefully consider on a daily basis what they do in terms of their own health. So Manatech is not curative in the sense that it's not medicine. You're not taking it and then, like a pill, and then your symptoms go away. What it does is helps your body to heal itself. But if you keep on doing the harm, if you keep on harming it, even Manatech isn't going to save you. So I just want to say that it really is important that we promote a healthy lifestyle in addition to promoting the Manatech products. Manatech's not some sort of a diet. It's not some sort of a supplement you just take for a short period of time. It literally is a lifestyle. So in order for us to have optimal nutrition, we need to have the glycans, we need to have all the vitamins and the minerals that we require for our cells to be able to build the building blocks that our bodies consist of. Now, I can't believe that in medicine, I never learned any of that. The only information we had as medical doctors about nutrition was what we knew, that vitamin C caused scurvy, and vitamin D deficiency caused rickets, and vitamin B12 deficiency caused anemia, and so did iron deficiency. So we knew these simple things about nutrition, but I never even for myself thought about the fact that I needed to take in the proper food to have a healthy body. I thought, well, if you get ill, you drink a pill, okay, and then you get better. And I suppose it's because it's your conditioning. It's what you get trained to do. They get taught we get taught to make a diagnosis and give a pill for the for the diagnosis that you've given. And that training sticks with you until you yourself become ill. So a lot of people have said to me, how can I convince my doctor? How can I get my doctor to start looking at the Manatech supplementation and to listen to me when I tell him that this is really, really life-changing? And I honestly can just say to you, we're going to have to wait until your doctor gets ill, because your doctor isn't going to look at it just out of the blue. Your doctor is going to have a health challenge, and then he's going to look at the Manatech supplementation. So why is it that we need to supplement? What's happened to our food? And why has things changed so much? I think that all of us know that we don't eat the food that people ate 40 years ago. But I don't think we've actually thought about it, because at least half of the food that you're eating on a daily basis today is so heavily processed that you can almost call it plastic food, because it really actually isn't food. I mean, if you actually go and analyze what is in a product, whether it's a lasagna you bought from Woolworths, or whether it's, any other, a packet of health rusks that you bought from Dischem, or it doesn't matter what it is. If you turn it over and you read the label, it's actually horrifying. There's no identifiable food in there. It's so heavily processed and changed chemically that our bodies don't know what to do with all those chemicals. Your kidneys and your liver has to get rid of that, and it only has that amount of reserve. And the more we fill it up with chemical stuff, the worse things get. So we really do need to supplement the lacking nutrients, but we also need to make sure that we don't take in those amounts of chemicals. So on that same vein, if you're adding chemical supplementation to your medication, to your chemical supplementation to your body, then you're actually adding more chemicals. So your body doesn't know what a chemical vitamin B looks like. Your body really can't recognize it. It really can't use it, and that's why companies who do chemical supplementation have to do such a heavily dosing of supplements. In other words, they have to use massive dosages to get your body to even absorb tiny amounts. If you look at the vitamin C's, for example, that you can get over the counter from health stores and so on, you'll see that those are in the thousands of milligrams. And it's because it's chemical and because your body doesn't recognize it. So if you take a Manatech supplement that's got vitamin C in it, you'll see that there's like 88 milligrams of vitamin C in there. And yet your body uses that 88 milligrams better than the thousands of milligrams that you're taking in a chemical supplement, because your body recognizes that as food and can actually use it as food, and it doesn't place a strain on your body. And then also, it's just not just our food that's a problem, but our environment's a problem, with pesticides and chemicals and so on. And your body's way of countering pesticides and chemicals and so on is with food. If you are heavily laden with heavy metals and you take chlorella as a supplementation, the algae from chlorella, that detoxifies your body. It actually physically goes and detoxifies your body of the heavy metals. And in centuries gone by, people were also toxic from all types of toxins. If you think about people that were living in a single bedroom house with a coal stove, and it was running all night in the middle of winter, and they inhaled all of that smoke all night long, and the toxicity from that. And how did they heal from that? They still had proper food. That's why they healed. They were still eating proper food off the land in the right way that you could recognize as food. Your body could recognize it as food and could use it to actually detoxify. So the next thing that's also problematic is our lifestyles, because we are not living relaxed lifestyles without any stress. We live hectically stressful lives. We travel huge amounts of distances. I think COVID from that point of view was good for everybody. But if you're in the traffic for an hour and a half to work in the morning, an hour and a half home in the afternoon, that's 3 hours of traveling on a daily basis under highly stressful conditions. Plus you've had a highly stressful 6 or 8 or 10 hours at the office. that's not a natural way to live. So your body needs to detox from your lifestyle. And that is critically important. What do you use to detox from your lifestyle? You need nutrition, you need food, you need adequate energy and fuel and proper vitamins and minerals. And I can assure you that the more highly stressed you are and the more toxic your body is from chemicals, the more vitamins and minerals your body uses. So a lot of people don't understand, but why is it that now suddenly this has become a problem, their nutrition? And it's because they've had a lot of vitamins and minerals in their body stored, but over time they've depleted that, and they just haven't, kept up with the amount that they're using. So supplementation is critically important for everybody, but it has to be real food supplementation. And the advantage of the Manitech products is that your body recognizes it's food, as Gabby also said, and Nicolette also mentioned that. The important thing really is that you give the body the nutrition in the way that it's designed to have it, not in some massive overdosing of supplements or some chemicals or some highly spliced or highly fractionated vitamins and minerals, but in the way that your body says, oh, I see, you are vitamin C, I can use you. Oh, I see, this is iron, I can use that. So guys, when we look at the Manitech supplementation, the research bears it out, it backs it up. The anecdotal evidence to me is almost more valuable than what the research is. Not that I have no disregard for research, it's critically important, but what I've seen in my private practice, how people have responded, how they've reacted, how their bodies have responded, the immense success rate that I've had by giving people these products and for them just to use it and in 3 to 6 months really turn their lives around. That to me is absolutely unbelievable and phenomenal. I mean, that's in addition to my own results, where I 100% turned my life around and became a person who now feels optimally well, optimally healthy. When I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, my eyes fly open and I'm like, this is a brilliant day. This is fantastic. From having to drag myself out of bed and being ill all the time. So guys, try the products. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. If you're concerned about taking your products with your medication, if you're on chronic medication, don't be concerned about it. If your doctor says it's okay for you to eat broccoli and cauliflower and kale and Brussels sprouts and cherries and blueberries and strawberries, then you can have Manitech products. Okay, so thank you very, very much, JP. I really appreciate the opportunity to share tonight, and over back to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Frikkie. I think that was very, very insightful. And always such a great talk by you. I think there's so many people who can learn so much. And just in closing, I've got like a sort of a short surprise. I've got Carla Simons, who I've known obviously for quite some time. She's an amazing testimony to the Manitech product. I think she probably has used Manitech products longer than anyone on this call, and she probably knows more about the product than most of all of us put together. So I saw Carla was on the call, and I asked if she would just like to share for 5 minutes just her journey with Manitech, and why she's excited about using the product and sharing this product with other people, and also why this makes a difference for her and her family. So over to you, Carla. Hopefully I'm going to pin your video now, and you can just unmute yourself, and then you should be good to go.
Hi, JP.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Thanks for the last minute drop on would I like to come and share. So this is very unprepared, but I'm always happy to share. I absolutely love Manitech and love the products, and they have been life-changing for me. I currently live in the USA and miss South Africa a lot, but I guess that through Manitech you end up anywhere in the world. You never really know. Okay, so I started many years ago. I worked in the corporate world, and I had quite a demanding job running accounting firm. And I really started with having some issues after being obviously under a lot of stress, but I basically developed an autoimmune condition 30 years ago, around 30 years ago. And at the time, there was very little known about this specific condition. And so the doctors initially said to me, look, with the condition you have, you'll be very fortunate if you live 5 to 10 years. And so as time went on, I really had some huge challenges with just, in fact, just being mobile was a huge challenge. I really went through a period of not being able to walk, using walking aids and wheelchairs when necessary. And we're now 30 years along the journey, and I have now got 5 autoimmune conditions, because autoimmune conditions really only start off as one, and then as the body is under immense stress and pressure and strain, you tend to develop another one and then another one. And at times you can also develop conditions due to medications. And so it is a vicious cycle, and it's really hard once you have developed one autoimmune condition to turn that around. Not to say it's impossible, but it certainly isn't easy. So over the years, I had this challenge of being mobile, and then I've been through things like blood clots and heart failure and collapsed lungs and multiple organ failure. So it has certainly been a challenging and a long journey. But through this, halfway into the journey, so I've been on Manitech products for about 15 years now. And through the use of the products, I no longer use any walking aids or wheelchairs. And although I've still had health challenges along the way, I have been, optimally healthy for where and what I have. I think the thing that really stands out for me the most is when you've had an autoimmune condition for 30 years, or multiple autoimmune conditions for 30 years, and you go and visit the rheumatologist, the neurologist, the pulmonologist, unfortunately, you have a whole panel of doctors that you need to work with, that you need their support. They need to be helping you go through your blood work and understand where you're at in your disease process. So I think that doctors are a huge help to us. I think it's really important to ensure that the doctor that you do have and work with is someone that you can relate to, and that you can develop a patient relationship with that person. Because if you have a chronic condition, it's not necessarily going to go away overnight. And therefore, the doctor that you work with, you need to be able to work well with them. So I think the thing that really stands out for me through using the Manitech products is that when a cardiologist says to you, well, based on your specific health conditions and comparing it with other patients, you are in fantastic health. To me, that's a direct testimony to the product, how well it's working in my body, and just really proving that what I'm taking in is giving my body the support it needs, alongside lifestyle, alongside good quality water, air, detoxification, all of those processes, because we live in a world that's full of toxins, and therefore it is vitally important that we don't take those toxins in through what we eat, and the air we breathe, and the paint we paint in our homes, and the carpet we put on the floor. We have to be mindful and aware of every single thing carries a toxic load. and therefore we need to minimize that toxic load, and we need to eat nutritionally dense foods that are not, you know, are low in calorie but high in nutrition, as well as drink plenty of good water, not you know, sort of purified waters or tap water. Unfortunately, those are not good for us. So I think it is a combination of having high levels of nutrition, cutting edge supplements that are truly plant-based, and then obviously living the lifestyle that is going to benefit your health. And I think really the most important thing is, if you are healthy, your goal should be to maintain health and become optimally as healthy as you can be. And if you are compromised and have compromised health, then you need to work even harder to ensure that you get well. Recently, I went through having COVID, and as most of you know, it is a fact that anyone with compromised systems contracting COVID, the chances of them going to hospital or ICU are very high, and survival for one is huge. But I honestly put it down to obviously knowledge of taking antivirals in conjunction with your supplements and your lifestyle. But just putting that all together, I was able to overcome COVID and not have to be hospitalized and get through that period of time. It was a longer period of time for me than probably for most people, and it took about 8 weeks. But again, a testimony to the fantastic products that we have. And you know, I think a lot of people might say, well, gee, they are expensive, but I can honestly tell you that sickness is far more expensive than looking after your health. And the cost that it incurs in terms of not just financial, but the strain on the family. And, you know, when you look at all of that, honestly, the best investment you can make is in your health and in your supplementation. There's really nothing else that is more important. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. So I hope that, and just as far as the products go, for me, they all play a role and they're all necessary. And I use every single one of them. I love them. My children use them. My grandchildren absolutely love them. They can't wait to, my daughter sort of shows them the Ambrose pots, and they just absolutely love them. They can't wait to take them. So I think it's important that to also start children on it quite early, and you know, obviously pregnant mommies, because the benefits are huge. I think that's all. I don't think there's anything else, Japes. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, Carla. That was brilliant. I really appreciate it. I think we definitely need to give you some more time at some stage. I just saw the comments and things and such great feedback, and thank you for sharing and taking time out. I know it's in the morning there in Dallas, so thank you for sharing. We all really appreciate it. And I think, you know, as you alluded to earlier, they say if you don't make time for your wellness, you'll be forced to make time for your illness. And I think it's so important to be able to, for all of us to be looking after our wellness and taking the best possible products we can, exercising, trying to do something that's less stressful, and obviously going out there and just trying to make a difference. And obviously these products make a massive impact in a lot of people's lives. So thank you very much to all of you that were on the call this evening. What I'll do is I'll do a screen share now. We're going to end off the webinar. If you do want to do the QR code, it will be available afterwards. But thank you for taking the time out. I hope you sleep well, and I hope you have a great week ahead. And we'll definitely keep you in touch when we'll have our next webinar. So thank you very much to everyone that shared this evening. You were all fantastic. Really appreciate it. Thank you.